Good morning, student. Today we start the next topic of our chapter number 4, that is planning, and the name of the topic is planning process. There are total 7 steps in our planning process. Let's start. The first 3 steps first we see today, discuss today. The first is setting objectives. The second point of the planning process is developing premises. So the first topic that we discussed today, that is planning process, and this first point is setting objectives. The first and the foremost step is setting objectives. Every organization have certain objectives. अब objectives क्या होते हैं? These are the objectives. Some are the long term and some are the short terms. So what we have to achieve, first of all we have to determine these, because we give the direction for achieving these objectives to our subordinates. Let's take an example. It could mean that if we want to increase our sale by 20%, which could be the objectives of entire organization. So to increase the sale, we have to give the guidelines to our marketing department. The next is developing premises. The key word to recognize this topic in the case study, because this topic is also important for the case studies point of view. So developing premises means planning is concerned with the future which is certain, and every planner is using the conjecture about what might happen in future. And there are certain assumptions. Underline these words at page number 104. Certain assumption about the future. Assumption is there, what to do, what not to do, or how to do it, what kind of problems we have. So to resolve that problem, to arrange the resources, that is the assumptions, and these assumptions are called premises. Assumptions are the base material upon which plans are to be drawn, and sometimes this is called our resources, the basic resources on which and which that is called auxiliaries, which help us to achieve our objective, whether it is a long term or a short term. The second point, the third point now, that is identifying alternate course of action and evaluating alternative action. Third is identifying alternative course of action, and fourth point is evaluating. Each and every point interrelated with each other. Let's see how identifying alternate course of action. To achieve our objectives, there are so many methods and so many ways to achieve our goal. Then the next step, that is there may be many ways to act and achieve objectives, and all the alternative of action should be identified, and we are choosing the best way and the simplest way when there is a less complexity to achieve our objectives. And more innovative course may be adopted by involving the more people and sharing their ideas. The next is evaluating alternative action. Why there is a need for evaluating course of action? Because for doing a objective, for achieving an objective, we have a lot of alternatives. Evaluating is the necessary steps that suits our budget, because we are achieving our goals according to our plan. First of all, मान लीजिए हमें कहीं घूमने जाना है हिल स्टेशन पे, तो वी हैव सो मच रिसोर्सेज टू रीच आवर डेस्टिनेशन. हम लोग बाय टैक्सी भी जा सकते हैं, बाय ट्रेन भी जा सकते हैं. इफ यू आर गोइंग बाय अ ट्रेन, देन देर आर सो मेनी ऑप्शंस विद देम कि हमें एसी में जाना है, नॉन एसी में जाना है. वी आर डिसाइडिंग हाउ टू गो टू द डेस्टिनेशन. वी आर इवेल्युएटिंग दैट, and we suit and choose the best one plan which is according to our budget. And the second thing, if we are talking about the organization evaluate this kind of planning and this kind of objective, which is alternative, which is a less expensive, less time consuming, and which has a very simple method. The fifth point is selecting an alternative. सिक्स पॉइंट इज सिलेक्टिंग के बाद यहाँ पर हम लोगों का जो जाएगा इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का आपका मतलब हो गया कि सिलेक्ट करने के बाद इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ एन अल्टरनेटिव, दैट मीन्स हमने उस पर काम करना शुरू कर दिया आफ्टर सिलेक्टिंग देम. द लास्ट इज फॉलो अप एक्शन. Now come to the fifth point, that is selecting an alternative. This is the real point of decision making. The best plan has to be adopted and implemented. The ideal plan of course would be the most feasible. That is feasible, that means that is easy. Feasible हमने last time feasible studies पढ़ी थी जो economically approve हो, positivity हो जहाँ पर, और profitable भी हो, and with the least negative consequences. Consequences that means there is a some or null complexities. Most plan may or not always be subjected to a mathematical analysis. In such cases, subjectivity and the managerial experience and judgment at the time institution play an important role in selecting the best alternative. The sixth point is implementing the plans. This is the step with the other managerial function also come into the picture. The step is concerned with putting the plans into the action. Now, this is the time when top management call the middle management and give them direction, what are their plans, how to achieve them, how they give them resources to achieve this objective easily. So this step would also involve organizing of labor, staffing is also included, and purchase of machinery. That means it includes those skilled and unskilled or trained employees of selection. Follow-up action. To see whether the plans are being implemented and activities are performed according to the schedule is a part of planning process. Monitoring the plan is equally important to ensure that objectives are achieved. A monitoring कैसे होगी? With the help of controlling. That periodically analysis that what kind of objective we have to achieve, whether we are going in a right way or not. So this is the last step of follow-up action. Now come to the next topic, that is page number 105, types of plan. टाइप्स ऑफ प्लान के बारे में बात करने के लिए पहले हमें उसकी कैटेगरीज देखनी होंगी. द टाइप्स ऑफ प्लान हैज बीन कैटेगराइज्ड इनटू टू पार्ट्स. द फर्स्ट वन इज कॉल्ड स्टैंडिंग and second one is called single use. First of all, before discussing the types of plan, there are 8 types of plan in our book. First of all, we have to identify its category. कि कैटेगरी क्या होती है. यहाँ पर जो प्लान्स को कैटेगराइज किया गया है वो 2 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया गया है. द फर्स्ट वन इज सिंगल यूज एंड सेकेंड वन इज स्टैंडिंग प्लान. अब इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इट नेम डिफाइन इट इटसेल्फ. सिंगल यूज प्लान मीन्स एक ऐसे प्लान जिन्हें हम एक ही बार यूज करते हैं और दोबारा अगर हमें उसी काम को करना होता है तो वी हैव टू बी प्लान अगेन. फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, अगर हम बजट लें, एक साल बजट बन गया, हर साल का नया बजट बनाना पड़ता है, तो दैट्स वाई इट इज अ single use plan. Now standing plan that can made by one and the use of this plan is repeatedly, that is called standing plan. For an example, method, for example procedure, rules and policy, these are called standing plan. These are the category, and further the plan has been divided into their 8 types. Ab 8 types के plan that we discuss in the next video, and these are the 2 topics of today. You have to be make notes of this topic, and the process that you have, the first point that you have, remember that planning process you have to be learn in sequence, and this is the important topic for your examination point of view and the case study also coming on this topic.